flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everyone. Morning. It's wet instead of white. We have the agenda before us. Are there additions, corrections to the agenda?
Motion to approve.
Yeah.
Agenda? Not the agenda.
Minutes.
That, we're on the agenda, cost more.
Huh?
The agenda's first.
Oh, okay.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, yep.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Bruce, to approve the agenda as printed. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, we have the minutes from 12/7. Are there additions or corrections there?
Yeah, they've got me down as, I went to that Iowa Association of County Supervisors in Charles City, and I wasn't at that one.
All right. Thank you, Mort.
We just wish you would've been there.
Yeah.
We had a good dinner, Mort.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I've been
we have a
there
motion to
before.
approve the minutes as
So moved.
adjusted. Second by Bruce. Second by
Second.
Mort. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Anybody from the public want to speak to us this morning, besides the newspaper guys? Hearing none, we'll move along to the first item. I think we can probably do that without... Last meeting, we went over the ordinance 63, and this will be the second reading of that. And we can, I think it requires 3 readings, we can go 2 and opt to...
You could go one.
One and opt one.
Okay.
There was one small correction made
Yes.
to the wording on that, and so we did that. That was on, the third page, under number 6. At the end of the line, we said, and the operator has proof of insurance pursuant to Iowa Code Section 321.20B.
Correct. Yeah.
And the other one just said insurance,
Yeah.
so it's pretty vague.
And now, I don't know if you officially want someone to read this. We never did read it out loud for the benefit of the people.
We offered Dean to read it this morning, and he wasn't really ready to.
You think we should, Peggy? Would you like to
It's
read it?
entirely up to you. It doesn't require...
Peggy, did you say 321.20 OB or
Uh-huh.
20? Okay. I just wanna make sure I heard that right.
20.
You know, we have a fairly short agenda, Peggy, if you don't mind reading, then the public will know what's up. Maybe we do idea.
Okay, Humboldt County Ordinance number 63. Excuse me, my throat. Title, an ordinance regulating all-terrain and off-road utility vehicles in Humboldt County, Iowa. Be it enacted by the Board of Supervisors of Humboldt County, Iowa. Section 1, purpose. The purpose of this ordinance is to designate that portion of the county's secondary roads designated by the Humboldt County Board of Supervisors upon which all-terrain vehicles and off-road utility vehicles may be operated. Section 2, definitions. All-terrain vehicle means a motorized flotation tire vehicle with not less than 3 and not more than 6 low-pressure tires that is limited in engine displacement to less than 1,000 cubic centimeters and in total weight to less than 1,000 pounds, and that has a seat or saddle designed to be straddled by the operator and handlebars for steering control. Number 2, off-road utility vehicle means a motorized flotation tire vehicle with not less than 4 and not more than 8 low-pressure tires that is limited in engine displacement to less than 1,500 cubic centimeters and in total weight to not more than 1,800 pounds, and that has a seat that is a bucket or bench design, not intended to be straddled by the operator, and a steering wheel or control levers for control. Roadway means the portion of the county road improved, designed, or ordinarily used for vehicular traffic or travel. Section 3, operation on roadways. A registered all-terrain vehicle or off-road utility vehicle may be operated on the Humboldt County, Iowa gravel roadway pursuant to the conditions of this ordinance. In the event that a person residing on a county blacktop wishes to operate an all-terrain vehicle and/or an off-road utility vehicle on the permissible county gravel roadways, then, and in the event, said person may so operate on the shoulder of the county blacktop only so far as to reach the permissible county gravel roadway from the 1/2 hour after sunrise from 1/2 hour after sunrise to 1/2 hour before sunset. Section 4, restrictions. A person shall not drive or operate an all-terrain vehicle and/or off-road utility vehicle, A, at a rate of speed not greater than the posted or accepted speed limit, or greater than reasonable or proper under all existing circumstances. B, B, in a careless, reckless, or negligent manner, or as to endanger the person or property of another, or to cause injury or damage thereto. C, while under the influence of alcohol, narcotics, or habit-forming drugs. D, without a lighted headlight and tail light at such times when conditions provide insufficient lighting to render clearly discernible persons and vehicles at a distance of 500 feet ahead. E, in any tree nursery or planting in a manner which damages or destroys growing stock. F, on any public land, ice or snow, in violation of official signs of the Department of Natural Resources, Humboldt County Conservation Department, prohibiting such operation in the interest of safety for persons, property, or the environment. Any officer appointed by the Department of Natural Services, Humboldt County Conservation Department, may post an official sign in an emergency for the protection of persons, property, or the environment. In any park, wildlife area, preserve, refuge, game management area, or any portion of a meandered stream, or any portion of a bed of a non-meandered stream, which has been identified as a navigable stream or river by rule adopted by the Department of Natural Resources, Humboldt County Conservation Department, and which is covered by water, except on designated riding areas and designated riding trails. This paragraph does not prohibit the use of crossings of public roads or any other crossing when used for agricultural purposes. The operation of construction vehicles engaged in lawful construction, repair, or maintenance in a stream bed or the operation of all terrain vehicles on ice. H, upon an operating railroad right-of-way, an all-terrain vehicle may be driven directly across the railroad right-of-way only at an established crossing and notwithstanding any of the provisions of law, and may, if necessary, use the improved portion of the established crossing after yielding to all oncoming traffic. This paragraph does not apply to a law enforcement officer or railroad employee of a utility with authority to enter upon the railroad right-of-way in the lawful performance of the employee's duties. Number 2, a person shall not operate or ride an all-terrain vehicle and/or off-road utility vehicle with a firearm in the person's possession unless it is unloaded and enclosed in a carrying case. However, a non-ambulatory person may carry an uncased and unloaded firearm while operating or riding an all-terrain vehicle. A person shall not operate an all-terrain vehicle and/or off-road utility vehicle with more persons on the vehicle than it was designed to carry. This does not apply to a person who operates an all-terrain vehicle as part of a farm operation as defined in Iowa Code Section 352.2. Number 4, a person shall not operate an off-road utility vehicle on a designated riding area or designated trail unless the riding area or trail is signed by the Department of Natural Resources, Humboldt County Conservation Department, as open to off-road utility vehicle operation. Number 5, a person shall not operate a vehicle other than an all-terrain vehicle on a designated riding trail unless the riding area or trail is signed by the Department of Natural Resources, Humboldt County Conservation Department, as open to such other use. Number 6, a person shall not operate an all-terrain vehicle and/or off-road utility vehicle unless the operator has an Iowa driver's license, the vehicle is duly registered, and the operator has proof of insurance pursuant to Iowa Code Section 321.20B. Section 5, exempt vehicles. Registration shall not be required for all-terrain vehicles used exclusively as farm implements. Section 6, penalties. Violation of this ordinance constitutes a simple misdemeanor punishable by a fine of at least $65 and no more than $625 and/or up to 30 days in jail.
Thank you, Peggy. I think that gives the public notice. They all also understand they must register these vehicles, so they're not using it for exclusively for agriculture. Tell them where they can ride it, tell them what the penalty are. I think that's pretty well explained. If my understanding from what we've been told anyway, this is very similar to neighboring counties, as far as vehicles. What's your desires, people? Any further comment?
I know there's been several requests for this to take place, so people can use them out there. I don't see any reason not to.
And I think the other thing, ours matches up well with Cassuth and Wright County.
Yeah, so there's no confusion.
That's a good point, too. Wanna make a motion, Rick, on the first
Yeah.
part? Yeah.
You want to include that?
Well, let's go ahead and just prove it first, then we can do the, yeah.
A motion by,
I'll make a motion. to
Rick
approve
will
the
make a
ordinance.
motion, I'll second his motion to approve ordinance number
we
63.
have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 63 as read,
The second reading.
the second reading.
Approve the second reading, yes.
Other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the second reading of ordinance 63, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Okay, we have the option of waiving the third reading. Is that something you think we should do?
Well, maybe we should wait, so in case somebody has some discrepancies, they, you know, after they've listened to it, and, you know, it's out there now, maybe they'll have to wanna come in and get a copy and look at it. And, maybe we should just do the third reading next week.
We have the third reading next week and,
Be done,
and pass it after if there's no
yeah.
issues. I think that'd be the smartest thing to do.
Yeah, it gives them an opportunity to come in case they haven't heard about it.
All right, we'll put that back on the agenda for next meeting. Okay, we're a little bit ahead of schedule here, we can go down and,
And there's Paul.
hi, Paul. Approve
Morning.
draft from borrowers attorney opinion on the Farm Bill, co-op loan. What do we gotta do here?
These are just strictly draft agreements. It's to get the power, Corvette Power loan going. We have to have these approved by you guys, and then she sends them on to, the board of directors at Corvette and her attorney, and they look them over, make sure that's all right. It's just getting the paperwork ready for the loan to be signed, and that may be after the first of the year.
Pretty much what we agreed to when we...
Yeah.
What's the total on that? 360 for the loan, what was the total on the whole thing?
Oh, well, we have a building loan and we have an equipment loan.
But this will take care of what, I mean,
This is just,
certain percentage of it?
yeah, it's a cheaper interest rate than
Right,
we
that's
get
what I
from the
wondered.
bank. And we've borrowed it from the bank
Corn bill.
already.
Just for,
This is on the
Right.
equipment side.
Yeah.
This one, is there? Is it the
And
interest?
part of it's interest-free,
Oh,
part of
okay.
it's low interest.
Okay, right, okay.
Isn't that right, Peggy?
Yeah.
I believe so.
I think 60,000 is low, is zero, and
Oh, okay.
300,000 is
That's
like
why it's
2%.
360.
or
All right.
Really low.
What we have to
It's
do
a
is
10-year.
approve the attorney's opinion for the draft dealing with the $20,260,000.
And this is something John will sign, and will be on the letterhead at the time that we...
Okay.
For now.
I thought the $300,000 was interest free and the $60,000.
And it might be that way around.
You know, that might be right too. It seems
Yeah.
like the larger amount was,
That's what I couldn't remember,
Yeah.
how it was set. So you need a motion to
We sure do.
approve this, I'll make that motion.
Motion by Bruce, approve the attorney general's opinion,
Second.
opinion on the draft copy. Second by Moore. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Kind of following along the same thing, and we got draft resolution 2015-21. Guaranteeing payment of $260,000.
And that's just a very small resolution saying that the county guarantees the repayment of the loan. And they just wanted to see it in our resolution format with the chairman's name on it. So for now, I put Carl's. If we sign it after the first of the year, I'll switch names. Jerry, but...
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve, resolution 2015-21.
Okay, motion by Rick,
Second.
second by Bruce. Any other discussion on resolution 2015-21? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Set time and date for public hearing on budget amendment.
Okay, we have some departments that need a budget amendment. It's looking like December 28th will work. I could get it to the newspaper. I guess it took 2,000 down already. But get it to the newspaper today, and I'll publish it this week, and we can have our hearing at 8:45 on the 28th, if that works for you guys.
Good to me.
Looks good.
8:45 on December 28th. Budget amendment.
And we just have a motion on that too.
Okay, anybody want to make that motion? Set the public hearing for December 28th at 8:20?
I'll make the motion, set the public hearing at 8:45 on the 28th.
Okay, Rick, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Jerry. Those in favor of setting the public hearing December 28th, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Approve application of 006 to Woodward Construction. It was completed. They want some money again.
Yeah.
Darn them guys.
I could see them get done here pretty quick too.
It's getting to be smaller amounts now, so.
Yeah, yeah.
It's an amount of $81,381.75.
They're down there laying tile in the bathrooms, sealing grids and tile going in and laying carpet. Hopefully the windows are going in this week.
Looks like you're pretty well buttoned up from the outside.
Well, then also they got the roof guy has to come back and put the trim around the top of the rubber roof. He's supposed
Oh,
to
the outside edge.
Would've been nice to have done that last week. Yeah, but, I guess they get a little bit of leakage when, being that isn't done, so that they don't wanna put their ceiling tiles in yet.
Probably not.
Okay, need a motion to approve application number 6 for payment to Woodward Construction for jobs completed, work completed, $87,000.
So moved.
Motion by Bruce,
I'll second.
second by Rick. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Well, let's go up to Mr. Jacobson. I see you front and center here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I, left my cyclone tie home, by the way, and worked, so,
I got a shirt on, Paul.
I know, but I was cheering for the other team at the end, 'cause if we don't play better, we're gonna get smoked a lot. Approved contract and bond with Rognus Brothers Excavating Inc. for project, number LC 182509. We bid this, this is down on Roosevelt and near Roosevelt and 270th. We bid it, a month ago? And Rognus Brothers, is lowest, bidder. We awarded it to them, and now we have the contract documents all complete in place, contracts and bonds. Excuse me, contract and bonds. It's one contract, and there's several bonds.
So late start of August 1st, but there's no chance they'd start now, would there?
Oh, the note,
I'm just curious.
not now.
Okay.
No chance.
No chance,
This morning, there's no chance of much of anything.
No.
We have water everywhere.
Yes, we do.
We plan to start, Dave, we plan to start this project summer
Okay.
2016. We will be in touch with you in the spring. Thank you, Harvey.
Good enough. Good enough.
Sounds good.
Okay, we need a motion to approve the contract and bond with Rognus Brothers Excavation approved by Paul, project LC 182509.
I'll make a motion.
Motion by Rick,
Approve the contract with Rognus.
Second.
second by Bruce. Other discussion?
It's a good project to get past us. Been talked about for years.
Yeah, amen.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Second order of business, in conjunction with the budget amendment that we're doing countywide, I would propose a similar budget amendment for the DOT side, along with the amendment to the construction program. In the construction program, we're gonna propose to sort and switch some of the paving around such that we're putting white topping projects together and grouping them, which we would propose to bid in March of March of next year, March of 16, I should say, 'cause, for summer of 16 construction. And in the current year, we'd also add one bridge, and that bridge would be a bridge that we had a little fire on just northeast of Bode, Iowa. The other addition to next year's fiscal year 17's program would be, I did add some asphalt in to group with the other asphalt pavements that we'll talk about, but it's a piece of local road from Laverne south to C-20. It is not a farm-to-market route, it's not a federal aid route, it is a local, so anything we spend on that comes squarely out of our budget, so. I have that done, and I'm proposing to set a hearing, and what this agenda item would do would be to set hearing for the fiscal year 2016 IDOT budget amendment and the fiscal year 2016 IDOT secondary road construction program amendment for December 28th to 15, at 9 a.m., just following the county side.
So on that road next year for, concrete pavement, that one, underpass, you know, they're just outside of Hardy, that's right up to the edge of the road, will we put flares on that or extend that or anything when you do a road project like that? You know, the one just a mile, west out of Hardy?
Oh, the drainage structure?
Yeah, the drainage
We're not
structure.
touching that at this
So you don't have to
point.
worry about it?
We have to leave it marked, it's part of the FM project,
Okay.
and we have to add it suitably marked, and it's a 3R, so it's in the DOT's terms, it's to put it back, we're just replacing, we're not, if we were reconstructing, we'd probably have to deal with all of those kind of
Okay,
things.
so we're okay on that.
This is a resurfacing project.
You'll just put the markers on the road like there is?
Yeah, we'll put the markers on at some point,
I just didn't know what shape that was in, or if it was...
the concrete, underneath that structure is,
Pretty good.
in real good shape,
But you wouldn't extend it or add...
well, that's one of them, one of the few where I'd consider,
Well, that's what I
adding
wanted.
on to it at this point, because the middle is no spalling, I mean...
It's in good shape.
It's pretty decent shape. You can't scratch very easily with a screwdriver in there and put 2015.
Oh, that's what I wondered, I thought, well, maybe you could just put flares on it if it was indecent.
We could add, I mean, we have
It
a lot of
drops off
those.
Straight off on the edge.
Right, yeah, it's a box with nothing.
Nothing, which surprised me.
And then you could probably, we've looked at trying to add just precast section with a flare on it, you know, a 6 foot or more. Tying it, obviously,
Yeah,
drilling and tying, strapping
Something we
it.
could look at in the spring, I guess.
It's something we'd look at after done and gone.
After they're done, okay,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Otherwise, yeah, it's wise to try to do that. We looked at trying to put it in the program if we should try to do a full replacement,
Yeah,
but, you know, as opposed to other structures in the county, this thing
Good
looks in
shape.
great shape.
Uh-huh.
The only positive about replacing it now would be to put it in front of
that's
the
why I
pavement.
asked, yeah, that's the reason I asked.
We did not, and,
Okay.
it's, 'cause it, in the area where the pavement is, it's in great
Pretty
shape.
solid,
It's
yeah.
just, not extended very far.
Yeah, it's strange.
But that would be, the stretch of white topping would be from, Highway 169 all the way to Hardy.
10 miles.
And then, the other stretch that we're moving forward with this, amendment would be, we're moving the Badger Blacktop up to add to this, so we can tie the white topping in with it. It will match nicely with the white topping on the west of Hardy.
And getting your contractor and you're maybe bid them both.
Yep, no, they'll bid them all, they'll be all tied. Then the following year, we're grouping, asphalt projects, which would be our extensions mainly in the north end of the county, Odison North, Bode North, what is it? Right east of Livermore, I should know the routes, but I don't know. It's, 2.5 mile stretch there, and then that 2.5 mile stretch at
Laverne.
Laverne.
Yeah.
So those four
Those will
projects
match up
would
nice.
be all grouped
They're
to
kinda
be
all that-
one project.
All that direction too, so. All right, I'll go ahead, I'd make a motion to approve setting the hearing for the 2016 IDOT, budget amendment and the secondary road construction program amendment on December 28th at 9.
Your second.
I'll second that, I just wondered, do we have that on the agenda that we can do that? Okay. I didn't see it on
It's the second item on mine, Howard Paul.
the...
Set
Okay.
hearing.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the hearing date, December 28th at 9:30 for DOT and secondary road budget.
9 o'clock.
9
9
o'clock,
o'clock.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
9 o'clock.
Yep.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
And we're not required to have a hearing, for a 5-year plan, but I like to have it, like to throw it up there and make sure people know that we're talking about the 5-year program. Take the inputs and then, we'll go with them. Hopefully paving's pretty well set, but the other ones are, you know, and next year it might change. I'm changing around fiscal year 17's projects now with an amendment, but again, every time we start going into budget time, all that's subject to change as soon as we start looking at 17, so. Otherwise, no white stuff yet. South of us, it was snowing pretty good. We've had plenty of rain. Roads are soft and, in March-like shape right now. not real good. Hopefully, we don't have a lot of corn that needs to be moved this week.
Yeah.
I have numerous signatures with this, at some point I will get
You know, well, actually, the gravels are a lot better than they were after that last snow, other than you wouldn't want to put heavy traffic in.
Right. They firmed up with the
really
rain.
nice.
Yeah, that helped.
And I think, over by Juniper Avenue, they must have bladed Thursday or Friday, that looked really good.
No,
We've gotten a little bit,
we had
a little bit of
everything-
crown on there to get some of the water.
Most of what we had out,
Some of the
we
roads
tried to
have been
get
great.
Friday, Thursday, and Friday before we saw this rain coming, because
Yeah.
trying to get it shaped up, because once it freezes hard, then we're done.
Right.
Lots of places.
I don't know, we had some January weather, 4 weeks ago or 5 weeks ago, and now we're back into March weather, so I don't know what we are.
Short winter.
I'm good with the short winter.
A lot of votes for that.
Good news is, EC Source is in Clay County in the middle of fields as we speak.
Oh, yeah, think about that.
EC Source, for your information, in trying to coordinate with them, they're looking for late summer to be down here, or mid to late summer to be down here, which should be good if we have early construction, because we will be doing the road paralleling all their work activities.
Their helicopter's gone. That one who's using the big,
Oh, really?
is it gone?
No.
Still working?
No, I think they're basing it here.
Thursday or Friday they have it out.
They run it from here all the way,
Okay.
clear over to Waterloo or clear northwest Iowa. This is their home base.
Thank you, Paul. We have claims to approve before we go to drainage. Everybody have a chance to review the claims?
I've reviewed the claims, we have claims with handwritten of $301,382.50. And we also have drainage of $100,769.70. I would make a motion to approve claims as presented.
Motion by Jerry, do we hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mort. All those in favor of approving the claims as stated, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried. I believe we have time to do reports before we go to drainage. What'd you do this week, Jerry?
All right. Actually, we had our Iowa Drainage District Association meeting in Fort Dodge. And other than that, I didn't
Was
meet...
there another one besides the one last week?
No, just that one last week. And, on Tuesday, I did meet again with a farmer on, DD two, and we went over that. I think may have left them again on Friday, so hopefully we're getting that part worked out. And then I'm just gonna, quick comment here on Thursday, I got a note from, Torbert to send a $100,000 check on to, the 3 counties that are involved in the lawsuit. We have collected as of, I believe this was November 30th, $148,250 total from the surrounding counties that are helping to support this, lawsuit. And that would include, $85,000 from the counties, and then you did, $63,000 was private sector donations that are going into our fund. I know there's other funds out there that are sending money, so we'll have $48,000 left in that kitty, but I'll just pass that around. You can look at that as you give your reports, just so you can see which counties are giving. And most of those are commitments for 3 years, so this would be just the first year's commitment that's been given by most counties, so.
How many counties in Iowa did that? Half of them?
I think there's 20-some there, I don't know if there's over that.
Probably about 20, I would
Most
think.
of them up in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it looks. I got Polk County, of course.
The
down
active
there.
counties that
Ottawa,
have drainage usually,
Sac.
so. That's all I had.
All right, Monday morning, at the LEC meeting. And then on Wednesday, had another LEC meeting with the contractors there, and, we were trying to get a definite date of completion out of Woodruff. They're supposed to be getting that date to us this week, so we can schedule other things that need to be installed. I know the dispatch consoles are sitting in a truck waiting to be put in. The furniture guys are ready they wanted to put their furniture in around first of the year, so they're waiting for a date. So hopefully they'll get that to us. I kind of, the holdup has got a little bit of electrical work that has to be completed yet, but, like I say, they're down there laying tile in the bathrooms. There's still a little bit of painting going on, redoing a few locks that they messed up on. And then also that ramp, that change order from a week ago or so, they're working on that, trying to get that wrapped up. And then, I think it was Thursday afternoon, I met with, Farmer and Pat Hill and Brent Keenest and Rick Hopper here from 9 till 11:30, talking about DD2. Mainly the reclass on that, with the changes they did with the residential, that they had thrown in the secondary roads, the railroad, city streets and all this were brought down also, and,
See, I met with the same farmer on Tuesday, and that's what we discussed, some of that, and then I was gonna be gone Thursday, so Rick
yeah.
sat in.
And he had a very good point. Some land was a third of what some of the other land was, and it appeared to me that it was getting equal benefit.
And that's kinda why I was concerned, but I really wanted someone else to hear it, and I know these guys are all busy on Tuesday, so.
Rick had made the comment, they had talked about it, but somewhere in his staff up there that does the numbers,
I think something got left off.
they didn't get the
That's
notes
what I
that he had
thought.
written, because Brent and Pat said they had addressed that at an earlier meeting, and it got missed when it
And
went.
that was brought out by the farmer, and he just said he had talked to Rick about that, and he had wrote that down, he had never really confirmed that they had talked about it with the groups.
Yeah.
I'm glad you were there to kind of pick that
Yeah,
up a little.
because Brent says, yeah, I remember talking about that, because they brought out the old sheet, and they could see where they had crossed out numbers and put new numbers in, and it just got missed.
And then there was also,
And that's the purpose of these hearings,
right,
is so that,
find these things, make sure
find
they
these
get
things
it done.
before we finalize them.
See, and there was a problem on that wetland mitigation too, of 1/100th of an acre. And so Trish and I sat and went back to some original reports, and the original, wetland mitigation from NRCS that came in, like in 2012, showed exactly how Rick and Trish had written it up. Well, the one that came after the construction project, it changed one of those numbers.
Change different numbers a little bit.
You know, Bob, he was just concerned about it, he wanted it figured out.
I think they got that
I think
straightened
that's
out.
what that ended up being, so I hope they can get that little.
Yeah, I think they did get that part straightened out.
Oh, that's good.
So, and that's all I had, was those 3 meetings.
Yeah.
On this, they're planning to have an open house for the public, right, sometime in January?
Yes, yeah, I think what Dean is planning to do is gonna have like 2 open houses, one for past employees who have worked in that building, dispatchers, deputies, police officers, probably some local officials, and then they'll have a public opening also, viewing, so 2 open houses. So
I was gonna ask you a question.
Yes.
On the LEC, those locks, were they the card locks that we're having problems with, or?
well, yeah, what happened is the guy cut the, strike plate in at the wrong height. So when the door shut, the card reader wouldn't read it. So, yeah, I have no idea how he screwed that up.
Do they have to redo the jam?
So he comes in, re-welds the plate in,
Sure.
sand it down, cut it, and then repaint it. He only missed it by a half inch.
Oh, geez.
That's all.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
So,
On all of them, I suppose.
no, only on 2.
Oh, well,
But,
it's always a good idea to try it after you cut the first one, right?
Yeah.
It worked.
yeah.
Yeah, I had that LEC meeting with Rick, and, that was on the 7th. On the 11th, I had second judicial in Webster City. Sally Kramer was there, and she gave a talk, and she was saying all the salary increases for next year are unfunded, so if anybody raises, it's gonna have to come out of their funds that they have already on hand, so. Let's see, the parole violation, parolees were, our cost on that was $6.01 a day for parolees, and, had 29% more served in 15 than they did in 14. Sexual predators, treatment costs $76.29 per day. We have 50 lifetime offenders. so that'll go on for the life of them. They said a dozen rate is 20%. So they're gonna also, we've been putting in new heat pumps, and they're on the last, contract right now, Mort's Plumbing, that
Latimer.
yeah, that is doing them. And, I think the last batch will cost $21,000 some dollars, it isn't that bad, so. I guess that was probably about all I had.
Who didn't have any?
That's good, Bruce. I had 4 meetings and probably didn't do anything any good. On Monday, workforce development, and I keep urging you guys, you know, most people think the workforce development is a place of unemployment. They got so many programs going. If anybody's ever looking for a job, just located workers, young people, old people, check in with workforce development offices. They got training programs, they got all kinds of things going. There's no reason for anybody to be unemployed. So, keep that in mind. That was on Monday.
Fort Dodge.
Fort Dodge on Monday. On Tuesday, I went to Des Moines, we planned, committee got together and planned some of the programs for spring school. I think we got the agenda pretty well set for that. On Thursday, we had a daycare meeting again. We had a candidate we interviewed for director of this daycare we talked about last week. We're gonna have some more interviews before Christmas and probably make the determination after the first of the year. On Thursday, Small Business Development Commission, there's 16 of these things across the state of Iowa. It's kind of related to job development, workforce development, getting a job. This is entrepreneurs trying to get small businesses started up. There's all kinds of counseling services. This is a free service. Anybody that's trying to start a business, you get lots of help writing business plans and these kind of things from this outfit out of Fort Dodge. So, that was, the last meeting I had, and it was Thursday, I believe, Peggy.
And was that here in town?
That was in Fort Dodge.
Okay.
All right, anything else? We need to go to drainage.
Guess we didn't really have on your committee reports, did we?
Should I make a motion?
Make a motion to go to drainage?
Make the opening, so
I'll
we'll
second.
Okay, motion by Bruce, second by Rick to go to drainage, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We are in
A
drainage.
week ago, I'm really losing track.
Yeah, $5,000,
Okay,
that's for that,
Lawsuit.
yeah.
For 3 counties.
No, it's on hold right now, the government has put that on hold,
drainage
right?
clerk, yeah, we'll keep going.
They put a stop to it for right now.
I think that
Do
waters of the
the other
trade,
Dr.
US
Trade
Trade Act thing is on hold maybe, I don't think this
I
was
thought
on
they
hold.
put the whole...
Well, I hadn't heard.
I thought they put it on hold for now, but...
Really? I haven't heard that yet.
I thought they did.
They may have.
It was in that drainage magazine.
I'll have to
I don't
look.
think I got it.
Rick, did you get the concrete approaches done on Friday or Thursday? I don't know,
I'll look for that.
Yeah, if they did, I think that'd be fine.
That'd be great, yeah.
Be good weather if they got it done.
That would probably get temporary, but I think that it was on hold.
Sure.
Welcome, drainage lady.
Welcome. Hi.
No, don't want Dolores
Good
to say
morning,
anything.
drainage lady.
Good morning.
Looks like we have an item of business here. We have DD 6, accept petition extension for improvement iron engineer.
Yes, sir. We already have engineering report on D, and it was going to extend up to the sub of 6, but Sanvins would like to have it extended farther, possibly even extending up to Highway 3.
Ooh,
So he's
There's an
this-
intake up
The whole
there.
part, this is the part he wants to extend?
that's quite a ways.
Yeah, it is. I had quite a discussion with him on the phone here last week.
Yeah.
Trish and I were sitting, so I asked Trish to come in and Steve got on and,
It looks like, well, what would, extension of maybe a quarter of a mile past where it is the old highway.
right. And all that being said, yeah, we'll pass this around. So So Trish and I went over it with Steve on the phone. I put her on a conference call, because I knew I'd have other questions that she could
Yeah, 'cause
answer.
we're extending about another 3/4 of a mile if we're going up all the way to 3.
And then we, got ahold of Rick right after
Is that the home
I
place?
believe I called him.
Where Steve lives?
Yeah, this is where we were stopping, is right here at the
Mhm.
road. Now we're gonna go all the way up to there.
Okay.
That's the old tile that's already there.
Oh, okay.
That's existing tile.
Okay.
And the new one was gonna run up along, parallel along the road and stop, pick it up here. Now they wanna go clear up to here.
So I got ahold of Rick, and I went over, I said, I think he needs to break this down into 2 project areas for when we do this reassessment or evaluation on the property for the cost. And, I think that's what's gonna happen, and Steve and I and Trish had quite a discussion about plastic. He would like to consider some of that on some of the smaller, certain sizes. So I brought that up to Rick, so I think that might be an inclusion in this discussion for the billing, or the bidding too, so. I want a lot of options, I really wanna break it down, so with this, the main ditch part and the branch part.
'Cause probably going that further up, they're gonna have to upsize the pipe
I
again.
think they will, now, I wasn't quite aware he was gonna go, well, he did talk about going all the way to Highway 3, didn't he, with us, so.
It shouldn't have. If he had the whole thing for a drainage coefficient, it would be extending the pipe. If it was already in the watershed, it should have been in the
In the
outlet.
size of the pipe already.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so maybe it will.
The water is
He
only...
might have planned it that way, if it...
So, it'll probably stay the same, just...
Although he had quite a leaning, he favored a consideration of 1 inch, and his dad did too, so they're gonna be 2 of the bigger landowners in that area, so. That's why, that's another reason maybe to break these, I think it's gonna be a major project,
And it's gonna be expensive.
very expensive. And he was gonna talk to Kivers over sometime too, and make sure he understood what was going on, and...
They got a lot of
How big an area does that cover?
Well, I don't think there's
Not
gonna
that
be as
many
many landowners, they're larger portions.
I mean,
Lot of
larger
acres.
acres.
This is subject to remonstrance.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
Not very many acres either.
But it's not a lot of acres, and they're bigger chunks, so the one chunk's over 400 acres, and
Oh,
the
we need that
close to that probably too.
He's gotta sign that.
So,
Pass that to Carl.
On that too,
that being said,
I was talking to, we had a drainage clerk meeting
oh, that's right.
Friday, and we were talking about reclassifications and stuff, and there are some counties that do the reclass prior to this project, and
That would be a nice thing to
So,
do.
are they seeing good
Do
results?
do the reclass first, that way people know exactly what they're probably gonna be paying, or awful darn close.
So did the public like the results they were getting from doing it? Would they continue doing it then, apparently?
some say yes and some no, but I think in this case, it's a small area.
Well, then we can be...
I think it was
It'd be a good experiment for you.
a good thing because it's gonna be a lot of money involved.
Yeah, for a few people.
But then are you gonna require the petitioner to bond the reclassification? If it remonstrates, are you gonna make him pay it all?
They already have provided a bond. I do have bond, so I don't know if it would cover
From
the
each petition, or just from, Kivers?
2 of them.
2 of them. And Steve would have to do one too, probably then, right? Or not?
I don't know.
5,000, we have 5,000 now?
25 and 25. I think that's what I got from each one.
Okay. Well, you don't actually cash them anyway unless it doesn't go through, correct? Or do we cash those that time?
I don't
Sometimes we
know.
do.
I need to start cashing them, because the longer I hold them, as these projects are taking forever to get started.
You can always get your check back. if you
Yeah.
have to. If you have to.
I hate to deposit them,
But
but yet,
by doing the reclass first, that would make the levying a lot quicker, wouldn't it?
yep,
And reduce,
that's the part.
and we reduce interest costs.
That's the part I have a lot of problems getting with that.
Getting to that point where you get it levied.
Mhm.
And also, the people then, before remonstrance is done, they're gonna know pretty darn close what it's gonna cost them.
And, yeah, we talked about that too Friday, is, the drainage code is very vague on assessments. very vague.
Which
And-
doesn't help our cases sometimes,
No.
no.
And I think if we reclass, we can, prior to a project, that we can actually assess these people that way, prior to the completion of the project.
So the money could come in
So
quicker.
then we could have reduced interest,
Yeah,
and I think
And as
that's...
big as these projects are getting, that interest is a big issue now.
Yeah,
Plus, not only that, getting out their statements to them so that they can pay in the year they want to, we're always getting
or they could,
issues on that.
yeah.
we have a lot of things to go through with solutions yet on the programming on accepting
Right.
payment type things, but it's gotta be done.
My gut feeling with the three individuals that have put the petitions in, you know, they're probably pretty firm they wanna go ahead and they have a good idea. I mean, if they don't change their acres around, I don't think remonstrance is gonna be met on this one. Those
No.
are big areas. Owners.
To me, the reports seem kind of vague. You know, we got B and Main, and then we have the extension Main, and we have, so we have two different, amounts as per average. Well, where do they overlap?
And where don't they?
Where don't they overlap? I mean, so technically with the first preliminary engineering report, somebody could be paying, one landowner could be paying on that part, and then on the extension too.
Both.
So they don't really know what their average per acre is.
Without doing this classification.
I think it'd be best
I
to
would
do...
like to see it a little more cut and clear, down
Or
clear,
somebody
not
else
so
to pay all
vague.
that.
Yeah, I
And
agree with
if
you.
it's too much at that point.
Well, and if
for
you
us,
had the bonds, if you had the money bonds from those people, that should go quite a ways to doing a lot of this, 'cause you said this isn't a lot of acres.
How many acres are involved, roughly?
Oh,
Doesn't make much over 2,000.
I was thinking there was like 1,000 with the first one, and then we
Oh.
added the extension, probably another 6 or so.
Yeah, I think we're just under 2,000.
Under 2,000?
It's not a whole
So
lot.
we want to reclassify, that's $10,000.
Probably $10,000 across for the reclass.
Is there 30% that you think it'd be an issue here or not? That's all it needs to be to drop any one of these pieces is 30% of the land.
Come again, what?
Well, remonstrance,
For
I'm
remonstrance.
talking about. Do you think there's much chance?
Even the bottom end, if there's a chance for that to die out, it kills the top.
Yeah.
30%.
Of the land, he's saying. Or 50% of the land.
51% of land owners,
Right.
70% of the land.
Yeah, it's
Right,
back.
but it only needs to be 30% against it, is what I'm saying.
Oh,
He's going,
and for it.
going on the negative side, yeah.
Glass half empty.
Yeah, he's one of them guys.
Yeah.
No, but this
That's a good point.
falls apart if the bottom doesn't go.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
See, the bottom's already going. Main and branch B.
That's already a go.
That is already,
Yeah,
but it
that's
is
true.
on
But
hold
to
depending on
extend-
these two extension projects.
Well, I'm with Rick, I really,
I think we're gonna need some
Strongly
firm
feel-
numbers to these landowners before we start the project.
I don't like this.
Vagueness.
not only that, Rick, and if you offer that to them, the ones that might be on the fence for remonstrance, if they don't like their number, they at least get a chance to see what it's gonna cost, you know?
Yeah.
If they're against it, then they need to show that.
Till it's
Because I-
constructed, they won't know.
Because I also,
Till it's constructed, they won't know.
no, but I think they'll have a good idea with this. And I think, in talking to Steve, and that would be like visiting with him and his dad, I think there's a push for an inch coefficient too, so that would
Yeah.
add to it.
That's another couple $100 an acre.
So is the outlet an inch?
Well, they're putting the
That's a
outlets
good
in.
question.
It's in two different
It-
reports. We haven't
Yeah,
accepted.
we got half or 1 inch.
Right, and that's what Steve's dad has looked at, and he said for the difference, he was, and if he's in favor, I figure Steve's probably gonna be the same direction, probably. Which is fine, I mean, that's probably why he was gonna have a talk.
What do you think we should do here on petition? Want to accept it or reject it, or
Well,
table it?
well, I think we need to accept the petition, I'll make a motion to accept the petition.
Then we have
Do
Jerry,
that first, I guess.
a motion by Jerry to accept the petition for the extension.
Second.
Second by Bruce. Other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And then we need to appoint an engineer, I guess.
Now we need to appoint an engineer. That should have been part of the motion, so we just go that way. You wanna have Rick work on that?
Well, he started this one, I think we'll have to. I'll make a motion appointing Rick Hopper as our engineer on this project, continue it.
Okay. Motion by Jerry to appoint Rick Hopper as the engineer to continue work on this project.
I'll second it.
Second by Bruce. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carried. Anything else for drainage this morning?
Well,
How about the swimming class thing?
yeah, we need to talk how we're gonna handle that.
I like the idea of the reclass before.
Or let bids?
Mainly because if he's gonna break it down into separate things, it'll be more clear for the landowners.
And it's very unclear right now.
Cause I mean, some of these landowners could be paying $2,000 an acre on a 40. And that's a large sum.
Do we have the authority to go ahead and do that without asking the petitioners involved to do a reclass?
You have the authority.
Yeah.
And that's how these other counties have done it.
Yeah.
So what we would do is hire an engineer to do a study on the reclassification, and then set a public hearing.
And find out how this project's gonna get billed out. You know, so if you're gonna be in two separate things, they'll know what they're...
That's what the reclass would bring out.
Yeah,
I mean, that's really what it's gonna tell them, how much they're gonna have on both the
yeah.
main and the extension of some of them.
The question is who pays?
Right, right.
Okay.
When you say who pays, you mean how much?
Does the bond
Oh,
pay,
for the
or
pay
does-
for the
or
reclass.
does the district pay for it?
Oh, I see, 'cause the reclass will probably be more than what's bonded right now.
It could be, yeah,
Chances are, $5 an acre is gonna be 10 grand.
which will probably be $5.
Maybe we should have a conversation with Mr. Hopper first about this.
Okay.
Have him come give some input.
Yeah. And ask if they've done this before.
Can we put that as a possible reclassification on the next agenda and have him, when Rick's gonna be here, he'll be here, we got a lot of drains next week, we should be able to...
Put that on for
Put that on for next week.
I know he's not a real fan of reclassers, but
Well,
Well,
sure, because
because
then
it
it scares
kills
people out,
projects,
yeah.
kills projects, which hurts its
That's
pocket.
not the point here.
Which is
For us.
understandable.
I know.
Because, you know, once it's in the ground, and then you get your bill, you think, oh, well, now I gotta pay it. But if you get the bill before they do it...
He's more concerned of not hitting the target, but I think you've got to, if you're gonna do these projects, we should know up front kinda what it's gonna cost.
Well, otherwise you're gonna end up the same thing we had before.
Yep, and I don't wanna...
Well, this is gonna be
40
worse.
acres,
This is
they're
gonna be
gonna get-
worse.
The thing is, there's a few smaller landowners in that area who are gonna get stuck. Huge
Yeah.
bills.
Yeah.
And they're gonna feel like we're getting not that much benefit,
Yeah, absolutely.
you know,
I agree.
huge
Well,
bills.
we should get a bond from Steve then too, so we have $7,500. I don't think Steve will be opposed, if he wants to do this, Tyler, he'll understand if his dad had to do it, he understands the
So
process.
you want me to ask for a bond
Yeah, I
of,
think 2,500, I suppose. I think we should.
Continue the reclassification discussion with Rick next week after...
Like you said, you probably should just cash those.
There's 3 other ones in next
Same time,
week, so...
positive
Yeah,
time.
we'll be here.
Get tired of agenda, but new...
We'll bring lunch.
Mhm.
Bring pizza.
County attorney can order pizza.
Would think
Well, there's-
so.
At some point, yeah, I think I'd cash them all together, and then you'd know where you're at.
Maybe we could have media day next week, and the media
Steve
can
will
bring
be all right
pizza.
with that, I think he runs the process. I mean, he's gonna,
Anything else formally we wanna do, is just...
that was basically
all we're
part of
ready
accepting,
for.
he's just telling you accepting
Ah.
the petition, and that's part of it, any petition is a bond, 2,500.
And then
Okay.
Rick would be able to give you an idea of what
Yes.
reclassification would cost.
I think that's good, to find out for sure what it might cost. All right.
You're off?
Motion by Bruce to go out of drainage.
I'll second.
Second by Rick. Those in favor of going out of drainage, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carried.
Oh, just a quick thing, I know
Uh-oh.
well, I know it's a drainage, but you know, you mentioned something about putting somebody on the Iowa Drainage District Association. Did you guys talk about that any?
Not really.
Okay.
We're just trying to,
One of the drainage clerks, you mean, on the board?
Well, it's just to set on there as a list and what.
I'm not voting.
No,
Oh, okay.
that's what you mentioned, yeah.
But just to give some input on,
And also so they can see what's going on, maybe coming, so they have, you know, they would have good input, I think, so.
and I know, like, John Torgert doesn't really want to deal with us at the meetings. The drainage clerk
You're
just
separate
wants.
from that.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Well,
Is this a petticoat?
That way you always go to the other room and have your meeting.
Well, he
That being
I mean,
said, I'm gonna bring it up at our
not-
next board meeting as it's something that we would like to, and I think it's got
Oh,
some good
they
merit.
should.
It is, because, you know, you're setting things, and the people that are actually doing the work should know what's gonna
The
happen.
people that are putting this in motion, I know
Because
it's
you
a-
may notice something that doesn't feel right, that you at least could bring out before you make a decision too.
Mhm. There's a lot of things that need clarification to implement them.
Then Claude, I can get that work, we'll get you on, somebody on there.
I think it would
We'll
be,
twist a couple lines. I don't think we'll have to, I think they'll all agree.
because, you know, like, the auditors and that, they have auditors training in school and different things that drainage is kind of left behind.
Right.
And we need to develop a standard.
So everybody just doing it the same.
Yes.
And that helps too, yeah.
Mhm.
And clarifying some of the stuff. You know, we have our
Oh.
EPA stuff that, and the Des Moines Water Works, that's fine, we know, but how are we ever gonna implement anything or do anything with that? We don't know what's going on.
And when we have joint districts all around us, it's always helpful when we're kind of addressing policies similar,
Mhm.
especially on
We need some continuity.
CRP.
Drainage clerk is here to stay, and most generally, the other chairs and the board of supervisors come and go, so we need some continuity.
Well, I think it just helps bring another set of eyes in there to see what's going on, what might be something to consider, so. All right, we'll do that.
I think I heard her volunteer.
I was gonna say, like, do you have a name that you're trying to,
I already got one, I was just figuring.
I think she got blonde hair.
And it'd be handy, she could handle the ride with the chairman to the meetings.
She could ride with me and Stan Watney. He's got a nice pickup. You got to set in the back.
Okay.
All right.
I will, thank you.
You and Dan pretty much fill that front seat, don't you?
Yeah, he's got the bigger pickup, so we take, he will never let me, he just says, come on over, I'll drive. We meet Hardee's every time.
What's he running, Julie?
Well, he's got a Ford. Ford's got more room, I think.
I think they do, they got a little bigger cab.
It's a nice roomy pickup, yeah.
Yeah.
And boy, can he talk the whole way over.
You never turn the radio on.
Oh, no.
Bruce, the last time he didn't stand there, he disappointed. He said you could be the biggest supervisor in the state of Iowa, and now you rank sixth.
well, at the CFR meeting last month, she had a whole bunch of pots ordered. There wasn't that many people there, so she said, you guys gotta eat? I'm good. And I says, well, I'll go get some.
Yeah, I think Michelle thinks I put a strong arm person in there to replace me, because it sits between Stan and Bruce now, and she better have the right answer.
No.
That's a good committee.
Yeah, it is. You don't meet this month, do you, Bruce? December's off till January, right?
Welcome back, Peggy.
Hello.
Peggy?
I think we're all done, except anything you'd like to give us.
Rick?
I think that's it.
Remind people that you're gonna have the dinner for the courthouse workers on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
I think everybody's invited, if you'd like to come, 11:30.
11:30, is that it? And that's where we're at, downstairs?
I've asked Peggy many times she needs help, she says no, so let's just come eat.
They've got it all taken care of.
Anything else we need to talk about this morning? If not, entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Well, maybe we better not do that. We want to go to closed session.
Do you want anything
No,
in
that's
public?
after.
Okay. Okay, motion by Bruce, second by
Rick?
Rick, to adjourn. All those in favor of adjourn, say aye.
Aye.